I've said this publicly, I'll say it again. We need Republican AGs indicting every major Democrat across the board.
One of Charlie Kirk's main missions in life was to get J.D. Vance to become the president of the United States in 2028.
Would you ever consider making a run for the presidency?
You knew that was coming.
I'm 31 years old. I got a great life. And my mission right now is defend the Trump administration on the great stuff they're doing, get J.D. Vance elected as the next president of the United States in 2028.
J.D. Vance is bankrolled by and has his current position because of Mr. Anti-Humanity, Peter Thiel from the PayPal Mafia, who's also the promoter of the Palantir Predictive Policing AI Surveillance and Control Grid.
You would prefer the human race to endure, right? You're hesitating.
Yeah, well,
yes?
I don't know. I would,
This is a long hesitation. This is a long hesitation.
There's so many questions implicit in
Should
this.
the human race survive?
Yes.
Okay.
But
So this fits with Charlie Kirk's frequent claim that he has no hope in humanity to have a Palantir-funded J.D. Vance at the helm of the U.S. government, maybe to make sure that humanity doesn't endure.
I said, I still believe in God. I've lost all faith in humans. I have zero faith in humanity. I don't do hopium.
You would prefer the human race to endure, right?
I have zero faith in humanity.
You're hesitating.
yeah, well,
yes?
I don't know. I would,
I've lost all faith in humans.
I would,
This is a long hesitation. This is a long hesitation.
There's so many questions implicit
Should
in
the
this.
human race survive?
I've lost all faith in humans. I have zero faith in humanity.
Hey, this is Brian. Welcome back to the channel. It's always going to be easier to deceive the masses than it is to convince them that they've been deceived. And what is the best way to deceive them? Through the vehicle known as politics. Keep the slaves on the plantation happy. Keep them going to the voting box, the polling place, the slave suggestion box every 4 years. And you can keep those slaves happy because they think that they have something to do with the trajectory of their own future and the future of their children. They actually think that when they cast that ballot, the people who they're voting for actually care about them when they don't, that they're actually working for them when they're not. The people that you are voting for are working for the people who control them and control you. If they control the issuance and value of your dollar, they also control the issuance and value of the puppet politicians who you claim are your representatives when they don't even represent you at all. They represent the banking and the corporate elitists who are acquiring wealth, amassing lands, and filling up their agenda to create more data processing centers, AI data processing centers, so that they can create a surveillance and control grid that is utterly complete while you vote for the chains of your own oppression. And it's very important that you participate in this voting process. It's very important for the leftists to get you to vote for Democrats. It's very important for the rightists to get you to vote for a Republican, because now you have the left versus right paradigm lie, and you think your enemy is the Democrat. The Democrats think their enemies are the conservatives, when the Democrats and the Republicans have the exact same enemy who created the board game that you are now playing, thinking that you're affecting positive change by voting for psychopathic political parasites that you know are lying to you. So whether you have a Brian Tyler Cohen or a Midas Touch or a counterfeit news network on the left trying to get you to vote for Democrats, you also have the bought and paid for actors on the right trying to get you to vote for Republicans. And because you think that the Republicans are better than the Democrats, you think you are on the right side of history, and you're clearly not. Let me give you two examples from two clips from Charlie Kirk where what they are saying is completely hypocritical and inconsistent. Watch this.
Charlie Kirk was appalled when this Democrat with Trump derangement syndrome went after his Christianity, but he wasted no time in exposing his jaw-dropping hypocrisy.
First of all, Trump derangement syndrome. What's worse, having Trump derangement syndrome or Trump worship syndrome? Because people like this may lightly criticize Trump, but they still want him to be in office in spite of the fact that he was for red flag gun confiscation laws. I like take the guns first, due process second, bump stock bans, signed the biggest power and wealth transfer under the CARES Act, $6.2 trillion, ripping off Americans, inflating the currency, and on. Best friends with Henry Kissinger, didn't lock up Hillary Clinton like he said he would, has all of this political power right now, owns the House, owns the Senate, owns the executive branch, has the judicial branch in his back pockets, and he's not going to release the Epstein files. What are we talking about here? So listen to this.
I don't understand how you can be Christian and still support Trump. I just see him, he's a liar, he cheats, he supports dictators like Putin, Kim Jong-un. I mean, as a Christian, I think that...
Are you a Christian?
Yeah, I just think that as a Christian, a person should try to always do the right thing.
Which one is closer to biblical principles, the Democrat platform or the Republican platform?
I think Democrats do a better job representing godly values.
Hold on.
Wait, hold on.
The Democrats do a better job representing godly values? Let me ask you, outside of their convention in Chicago, they had truck.
Yeah.
Is that a godly value?
So neither side is perfect.
Hold on,
That's
no.
what I'm saying.
I want to make sure. Joe Biden changed Easter to the Gender Day of Awareness. Did you know that? How's that a godly value?
Yeah,
Kamala Harris wants no restrictions on in every state across the country. There are 320,000 kids that are missing in this country. Borders are wide open. We have 2 wars. How is any of that stuff godly values?
Charlie Kirk.
This is all hypocrisy. One of the first things the guy said was Donald Trump is a liar. Yeah, he's a liar and he's a pervert. Joe Biden is a liar and a pervert. Barack Obama, liar and a pervert. Bush 1, Bush 2, liar, perverts. Clinton, liar, perverts. They're all the same. They have no moral compass. They have no principles by which they walk. They are controlled, parasitic, puppet politicians, and the foot soldiers like the Charlie Kirks and the Brian Tyler Cohens and the Midas Touches and the little Brian Stelters of the world want you to participate in voting for the chains of your own oppression. They don't stop the wars, whether Republican or Democrat. They will always increase the national debt. They will always increase the coffers of the military-industrial complex, give the defense contractors a nice, healthy check. They'll always be for the drug war, whether Democrat or Republican, and fill the prison-industrial complex. They'll always be dropping bombs and launching missiles. Obama did 39 bombs and missiles a day. Donald Trump bested him and did 46 every single day of his presidency. Donald Trump saw to it that the military-industrial complex dropped or launched 46 bombs a day, and that happened with your vote, and your vote is your consent. But let me show you some more hypocrisy right here, just so you understand that Charlie Kirk is no different than the leftists. They're trying to get the slaves on the plantation to the voting booths so they can think they have the power and control over the trajectory of their own future when nothing could be further from the truth.
The whole weight of the world is the cruelty is the point. We are dealing with savages. This is not normal. This is ultra revolution time. Like, they are eating the country from within. The problem is they preempt us against offense, but that is not an excuse.
Now, what he's talking about is the Democrats. And yeah, the Democrats are doing that because that's what they're calling for. But the Republicans are also doing the same thing. But the real people behind the curtain are the ones who are animating all of these political parasites, including the ones who want you to vote for the political parasites. These also are the psychopathic class, the foot soldiers who are trying to get you to demoralize and dehumanize yourself by voting for somebody that you know has no morals.
We all have to play offense. We have to take the initiative. But here's the thing, we are not good offensive players. I'll prove it to you.
That's absolutely
because conservatives definitionally are defensive. We are conserving against their offense, right? So like by our temperament is to build businesses and churches and be agreeable. Our temperament, we don't think like revolutionaries. Well, we got to change that. Yep. I know, but and not enough. My next book is literally called Right-Wing Revolution. Like, I'm trying to make people think in a way where we're trying to stop their refounding of America. Here's the good news. If you want like the good news of all this, the founders have given us this unbelievable opportunity. The fact that we still have some semblance of a constitution gives us hope. Like if we did not have the founders, God bless them. Like I'll give you an example, the electoral.
By the way, that's all it is a semblance. How many hundreds, if not thousands, of anti-gun laws do we have in this country in complete violation to shall not be infringed? How many times, for example, the Constitution says that only gold and silver are supposed to be actual money. It's sound money. But we abandoned that back in 1913 when we installed the Federal Reserve. In that same year, we got the income tax. In that same year, we got the IRS. His guy, Donald Trump, has all three branches of the government. And he doesn't exert the power to eliminate the Fed and go to an actual sound money system, to eliminate the income tax, to abolish the IRS. Why aren't they doing that? Because they don't want to do that. They don't want that change. That's not what the masters want. And what the masters want is what the masters get. Now, the people don't want to be beholden to the IRS. They don't want to have money taken out through the income tax. They don't want their money to be devalued by the central banking cartel of the Federal Reserve. But the Trump administration isn't going to do anything about it because it doesn't want to, and it doesn't have the power to. The people who actually have the power in this country are the people that own the value of your currency.
College. If it was not for the Electoral College, this is game, set, match, we're done. Now we have a chance, right? A collection of states. It's still going to be very hard, right? But there's still hope, is what I'm saying. There's a roadmap. The founders saw this. They were like, we're going to make it really hard, not impossible, really hard to destroy this place, right? They put so many checks and balances in that think about how much we've survived, right? The fact that...
Oh, is that what we've done? We've survived? We have the biggest government, the most bloated, most powerful, biggest police state, massive surveillance state on the entire planet. They actually call our nation incarceration nation. So whatever the Constitution may be, this much is certain. It's either authorized such a bloated, evil, unconstitutional, tyrannical government, or it's been powerless to stop it. In either case, it's unfit to exist.
We still have fight, and honestly, it's a gift from Madison, Hamilton, and Jay of how they saw this, right? Like that, I tell people, the North Star is our founding fathers. The North Star is our own documents. The North Star is the Declaration of the Constitution. Like that's what we're trying to get back to. We're trying to defend that. I want to win. No, but I want to win. But why do you think we will win?
I believe in the spirit of the human. Just the humanness of that we will step up when we have to step
So this is so interesting. I totally disagree because, and let me tell you, I got in a debate with an atheist. So and it ties to this. Like he said, okay, Charlie, I can't believe in God after the Holocaust. And I said, I can't believe in humanity after the Holocaust. Yeah. I said, I still believe in God. I've lost all faith in humans.
So here's the hypocrisy in this. And it's clear. I'm sure you've already caught it. I believe in God, but I don't believe in humans. So I'm going to live my entire life trying to get you to vote for the worst humans that the world has to offer. I want you to vote for my psychopathic political puppets. I don't believe in humans, but I want you humans to vote for these humans who have no principles, no morals, and no love for anybody but themselves. It's all hypocrisy.
So I want you to think about that, right? I have zero faith in humanity.
But look what humans did to Christ.
Yes, they didn't stop Mao, they didn't stop Hitler, they didn't stop Mussolini, they didn't stop, I'm not saying, you might be right. Now
I'm an optimist.
But I am too, but I don't do hopium, right? I don't do hope and opium feels good, it's really bad for you.
That's exactly what promoting a political paradigm is. It's selling the masses on the idea that the guy we put into office is going to save us. He's going to be our savior. He's going to at least lighten our chains, relieve us of taxes. He's going to make our money sound again. He's going to lower inflation. That is hopium because presidents don't have the power to do that. Central banking cartel members have the power to do that, but they're the ones who are controlling presidents, who are writing the policies that do more favors for the bankers and for the corporate elitists, which makes us less wealthy, which makes them more wealthy, and transfers the power and wealth of Americans from us to them.
I'm right in the middle. I'm like, this, we could win triumphantly, or this could get really bad.
Humans that I don't trust could win. I have no hope in humanity, but the humanity I don't have hope in, they're going to win. Hopefully they'll win, but I don't sell hopium.
Just being honest, like I don't think what I'm getting at, and I'm not trying to, we're having fun, right? I don't think our victory is inevitable. I don't.
We'll have to work for it.
Yeah, and rededicate everything. And by the way, that last paragraph of the Declaration, I think, just rings in our soul. Our lives, our fortune, and our sacred honor, that's everything, right? And we are not at a place where Americans are willing to do that, right?
Yes, we are.
No, we're not. Well, you are, but it takes 3 to 5%. If you get to 3 to 5%, you could save the country. So that's the good question, right? Are we there? I'm not being pessimistic. I'm being real, right?
But what's the method?
What is this?
That's what's missing. I watch shows and books, and what's the
well, all of the above. All the above. You have to, first and foremost, politics is a vector, right? California's in a different spot. I'll be honest. The all-out, like weak-kneed, spineless red states, you would, if you came in and you did not know the composition of this country, you would think Democrats control like every governor's mansion, every AG. What is the method? The method is Oklahoma, Kansas, South Dakota, South Carolina, Arkansas start acting the way the blue states act. I've said this publicly, I'll say it again. We need Republican AGs indicting every major Democrat across the board. We
need Republican AGs indicting every Democrat across the board. This shows how myopic Charlie Kirk is and how willing he is to foment division between the people on the ground who are Republicans versus the Democrats. And it's not about that at all. We need to abandon our political parties. We need to abandon voting. We need to look at political parasites for what they actually are. True political psychopathic parasites who are on the dole for the banking and corporate elitists. We need to dissolve Washington's District of Criminals and at the very least, decentralized all that massive federalized power.
DA starting to indict.
And he talked a good talk about decentralizing power and handing that power down to the states, but he's promoting the Donald Trump organization and administration, who is currently actively involved in one of the biggest cover-ups for one of the most massive pedo rings the world has ever seen.
It's not going to happen because they don't want it bad enough.
That's right.
They're a bunch of Mike Pences. This is what gives me hope, though. What gives me hope is that the actual rank and file of the Republican base is like on fire, energized. Like I can't stay ahead of my audience. Like I do this for 3 hours a day.
He doesn't sell hopium, but he's hopeful that the Republicans will emerge victorious.
They're better
as though that matters.
Research than I am, and I do this for like 18 hours. Like they're sending me articles of like WHO treaties and like, did you know about like him Obama repealing the propaganda? It is the most informed audience I've ever dealt with. And that's like a massive shot in the arm of optimism, right? That shows that good things are happening. What drives me nuts, and we got to change it, is our leaders are so disconnected from the voters. And California is its own thing.
Shot in the arm of optimism, but he's not selling hopium.
Let's talk about the 10 reddest states in the country, right? South and North Dakota, Kansas, Oklahoma, forget Texas, like Arkansas, Alabama, Mississippi. Like we should be waging all-out war against the left on these states. And we're not. Like, we're kind of like, well, I hope it gets better.
So that's the political hypocrisy of Charlie Kirk. And it's not just him. Anybody who's involved in politics, anybody who wants you to demoralize and dehumanize yourself by casting your vote of consent for more war, more dollar devaluation, higher national debt, bigger prison industrial complex, military industrial complex. They've successfully demeaned you to the point where you're actually voting for the chains of your own oppression. Yeah, keep me in this cage. Don't give me the key. I don't want freedom. I just want to be comfortable in my cage. And that's what politics is. It's the clever and deceptive art of using euphemisms, lies, emotionalism, and fear-mongering in order to dupe average people into accepting and even demanding the chains of their own oppression. If you disagree with me in any way, leave your thoughts in the comment section below. If you want to support this channel, subscribe to this channel, hit the bell notification icon, like this video, and share this video, and I'll see you in the next one.